Okay, that's fine. Hey, Devs buddy, how's it going? 1 second. Oops. It's weird. Bot is not posting. At least the tweet. But it's doing everything else. Which is weird. But it's fine. I could just grab this one. Do this. It's 39, right? Yeah. 39, yeah. So I just gotta go up here, change that to 9, and we tweet away. And we got it covered. That was just weird. I'm just like, oh yeah, nope, it's posted in chat. It's posted in the Discord. It did not post in Mastodon, which is where I pull the tweets from. Why? Why, oh why, oh well. Alright. Got all the tweets out. So hello, Internet. Doing the Chemy cat tonight. Hopefully we get the head done. We'll see about that. I forgot to pull up the image for myself. I'm pretty sure. Oh, let's see. It is not in that folder. I went to my usual folder for it, and I'm like, nope, it's not in that folder. Not one of the official ones. You don't have it in that folder. But yeah, before we do that, we have a bit of Blockies updates to go through, because they've been hammering away at stuff this last week. So apologies. We're on the mobile version for a minute. The website is working for me now, but we're on the mobile version because you can only go so far back without being logged in. So we're on the mobile version for a second. I'm gonna kind of roll through these by the day. So it means we're gonna kind of go back and forth between a bunch of lines and stuff, because will be easier than me trying to like pull up all the pictures and trying to reorganize them. So I will denote what line we're talking about within Blockies as we go along. But so first up, Blockies is doing Shining, which for those that don't know, Shining is galaxy size. Is their galaxy size class. So they're 4-inch size class, but they have a little LED in the chest. Lights up the chest and the head. Horror movie? What horror movie? What horror movie would I be referring to? But we have Buffa Fever Zombie to kick off the line with his double chainsaw sword. What's funny is this is a cape and a slightly different helmet. I know what you're talking about, but the name escapes me. Oh, fuck. What is it? I can't think of the name. But I'm like, it's the one where he axes the door and he says, "Here's Johnny." That one. Shining. Yes. Why did that escape me when I just said the word? Brr. Anyway. But yeah, this kicks off the line. There's that Tarn. It comes with nickel. This is for you Transformers comics folks. I am not one of them. We can swap over to the main site now, or the main page now. Oh, yeah. Let me get back on here. Whee! We already technically talked about this, but here's just like a better picture of the Guts Sherlock from Tiga. It's one of your Hot Wheels, Ultra Hot Wheels, basically. Next up for Shining is going to be Gotchard Daybreak, who's the alt-future version of Gotchard from the show / the movie. He looks nice. There's some better pictures of 3 of the Ultras. It's ones we already picked out, so it doesn't help us. Ryuki's also going to be in Shining. But is this going to be like vanilla Ryuki with the guard vent equipped and wielding the sword vent? It's an odd choice, but sure, I guess. Starlight is getting some new additions with Rider, or Rider Starlight's getting some new additions. These are the 3-inch figures, my bad. These are the 3-inch figures. So we've got Geo. Joy. We have Oma Geo. Much like Daybreak, is an alt-future version of Geo. But he's evil, whereas Daybreak's a good guy. Don't worry about it. And then Gates. What's interesting is this last picture shows his sword in the gun mode. I'm not sure if the sword hinges down. I think it does. To transition between sword and gun mode. I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. So that's kind of neat. Let's see here. Let's get past all those. Let's get past the Saint Seiya. The real interesting thing here, Ultraman blockies has been going on basically since the beginning. They are what kind of kicked off blockies doing all of these figure stuff to start with. And at a show in the last few months, they showed off a new base body for Galaxy. And now we're getting Galaxy version S, which is important there because they are making that distinction that this is a separate from Galaxy version with the little S moniker. We don't know what the S stands for. But we got Galaxy Rising from Zed's show. The big thing is it's a lot more like human proportions. Someone said that Spider-Man Wave is using this. I don't know. Because we also don't know how they're handling this with Ultra, because like I said, they've done a lot with Ultra. Like, a lot. Like, basically everybody but like the first few Showa era Ultras have been done in Galaxy. And that's a lot of material. So I don't know if they're going to keep like vanilla Galaxy going, if they're transitioning Ultra into this new Galaxy S and kind of like restarting. I don't know. We don't know. But we know that this is a wave that's going to come soon. And I guess for comparison's sake, because I did throw this, actually it'd be easier for me to just grab the picture I slammed in the Discord. It's a Saw picture, mind you, because I just pulled it from my checklist. But here is the original Galaxy version Galaxy Rising Jeed. As you can see, it's a lot more human proportions. They got rid of the Lego minifig boxy body in favor of something a little bit more rounded, more like, the suit and the like. Some better articulation and the like. The weapon is fully painted now. And also, interestingly enough, like in the show, the medals in the Zed Riser are blank. They they don't show anything when they're actually fighting in the show. Even though you have to insert specific metals to transform and to do finishers and stuff. When they're actually fighting with it, they are blank. They do not show what is supposed to be on the metals. But yeah, we'll see. We haven't gotten an update since then. Just a Hot Wheel, just showing how they assemble. Another Starlight update. Indog Vazeba and Kuga Ultimate form from basically the end of Kuga. Two of them that are going to be in Starlight, which Starlight has a surprising amount of, well, not necessarily Starlight, but like Blockies has a surprising, like, diverse lineup of material across basically all 3 different size classes they have for Rider. I just wish they had one. But yeah, it is nice. These do look nice. We see a Beast Wars Megs in bot mode for Defenders. This goes along with the leak we've saw of a Primal Megs and the last 2 Combaticons. But we had already seen Beast Mode Megs at a show for Defenders. Now we're seeing Robot Mode, so it confirms like both of them are going to be present in the Defenders wave. It is curious what we'll get past here. Past the Saint Seiya, the Powerpuff Girls, and the Miku, and that is it. There's just a trailer for that, for their 7-inch Kuga Ultimate figure, which looks really nice. Couple other updates that aren't on the blog. We have this blurry ass picture, I assume coming from like TikTok and stuff, of the next Galaxy Wave for Transformers. We've got a Megs, we got an RC, well, we've got a G1 Megs, I'll specify. RC, Triptychon, Mirage, I believe, Jetfire, Springer, one of the Seekers, the last of the Insecticons, and then Unicron in Planet Mode, I guess. I don't know if this is supposed to be just for the background or it's going to be a figure itself. We don't have the wave layout yet. We'll probably have to find out whenever they get done with Defenders reveals. But then, well before all of this, we got our usual schedule from the app. Just talking about what they're going to be revealing and showing off for the next, like, 10 days. Between, like, the 21st and the 31st. I saw something that said, like, Bakis is not going to show off a whole lot in January. I don't know how true that is. I try not to talk about things that I've seen, but I don't have any backup on. Like, I've seen potentially one more figure for Rider Shining, but I saw no I wasn't able to independently confirm it, so I won't say who, but if they pop up, I won't be surprised. After the whole debacle with that purple colored Tajador, I try to be very careful about what I see and then what I say and what I put out there into the Discords and stuff I've in, just to be like, no, I will not spread misinformation. I will not spread bad info if I can help it. Do my due diligence, do my homework. Anyway, as you can see, this is all like not translated. Someone did a quick Google translation, but I went in and cleaned it up and to give a better idea of what everything is. So I'll just circle stuff. So this is the Ultra Hot Wheels that we've already seen. Basically the full wave of, I think, minus the chase. Or chases, because there's 4 chases in that. Yes, there's 4 chases in that, so I don't think we've seen the chases for it just yet. Here's the Ultraman stuff. This is for that Galaxy S wave. This is for something called Kabuki or Genki Theater. Blockies hasn't released anything under that name that I could find, so I don't know what this is. There is very like old samurai armor style Ultraman designs. So I don't know if it's figures for that or if it's for something else entirely. We're gonna have to wait and see on it. The Transformers here is Galaxy 9, which we saw a very blurry photo of what that lineup looks like, and then Defender 6, which should be the Primal and Megs wave that we've seen, the League 4 and the like. Really curious how that goes turn out. Rider. We have, of course, Shining, which we've gotten stuff for, and then Starlight, which we're getting stuff for at the moment. Marvel. This is Galaxy 6, which should be that second vanilla Spider-Man wave. So that'll be cool to see what else is in that wave, because we don't have a full wave layout for that wave yet. And then Beyond 6 and 7, which should be the Marvel... I think that's supposed to be the Marvel Rivals, Spidey and Venom. I'm not sure if that's the correct numbers for them, but I think that's the Marvel Rivals, Spidey and Venom. Nope, that's not the button. Thank you. Star Wars The Mandalorian technically will have 2 more figures. I think this is Mando and Night Owl girl that is leader of the Mandalorians at the time. I can't think of her name offhand, but I think it's the 2 of them. Because 1 and 2 were the Vader and the Stormtrooper, and I think 3 and 4 are supposed to be the 2 of them, because we saw great prototypes for them at a show. We'll skip over the Hatsune Miku and the Zootopia stuff. Naruto has a new Galaxy Wave inbound. And then Pokemon has... It's not a new wave, it's going to be a new single figure. I don't know if it's supposed to be large or small, but they've changed... They might have changed the naming on them, because this doesn't line up with how they've been naming them before. And the Evangelion stuff is just, here's Asuka in her suit, and then here's Asuka with a cockpit. Yeah, there is your extensive Blockies update from literally since Monday. This has all been talk since Monday. And it's not even all of the talk today. Because they do updates they've been doing updates from like 9 to 11. Basically every day, I guess, to like cover everything they're going to be covering like this month. So we might have stuff by the end of the stream to talk about. Because like I said, this just dropped literally as I started. And there might be more. Let's see. Let's give a refresh and see if there's more. There's not more. Okay. I need to swap over here because I am pretty sure, yep, SolidWorks is not captured. Of course not. Okay, now I'm gonna come over here and then I can just click these on. Sir, thank you. But yeah, we might have more blocky stuff before too long. Even though I haven't done anything. Save. Okay, I might make this simple. And just do a port and peg for the head. If I want to upgrade it with a ball joint, I can upgrade it at a later date with a ball joint. Okay, how best do I hit this? So, you know, I was looking at this for the head, and I realized something that I didn't notice before. That I guess I just missed. Nope. Not yet. Thank you. Guess what I've entirely just not seen until now. The wings. I've completely missed the wings that are in the back. That's fine. I have room to put them because that's an easy add. But I was just looking there. It's like, how do we hit this helmet? And then I'm like, oh, there's wings there. Well, shoot. I completely missed those. Because like I said, it's an easy add because all I have to do is... like, put him, like, right here. Just hole, make a part that's the wing, comes up. It can be that... it can be, like, the main... like, the covered wing part, and then the clear part can be, like, tabbed in to it. So that was not a... that's not a terrible thing to have missed, but still. Yeah, because this is similar to the Gotchard helmet. Can I get... get a large picture. Will this work? I need something as a basis. And we can kind of modify from there. This might be the best reference we can get. All right. Sketch from the front. Get sketch picture. Really? Mean is incompatible. Why? Okay. If I screenshot it as a PNG. Okay, you cooperate that time. Fantastic. Okay, 14. Make it 12. How long is that? 13. Okay, that'll do. All right. We got the size we want. We just gotta get drawing. Oh, God. Why did you exit the plane? Now, before you ask, no, I'm technically not tracing this helmet. We're using this helmet as kind of a basis to kind of like create the Chemy helmet, because, or the Chemy head, because the Chemy head is different than this helmet. So we're kind of using this as kind of a reference to get some of the positional things right. And then we're gonna go in and kind of like carve out and get the other details in there. Which is why like this is not technically lined up. That's because in the Chemy design, these are connected. Rather than being kind of having this separation here. Okay. Observe. That. This comes up a lot more there. I know Jason Schreier talked to some of the Concord team, and basically he went, look, I'm not going to do anything do any paper on Concord, because everything you think could have gone wrong for Concord is the same thing that has went wrong with every other video game like it. So, like, there's nothing new to talk about here. Because when he talked to a dev, he's just like, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and the dev was like, yep. And he's like, shocker, all of these live service games have all the same goddamn problems. It's amazing. Look, there is a reason. There is a reason I said a Destiny 3 will not save Bungie. Because Bungie will have not learned their lessons from Destiny 1, nor will they have learned their lessons from Destiny 2. Because guess what? No one has learned anything from the launches of Destiny 1 or 2 outside of Bungie. So how can Bungie even learn from their own mistakes when no one else can learn them? That's why I said, if Bungie wants to live and keep going, they need to kill Destiny. They need to walk away from it and be done with it and move on to anything else. Preferably something that isn't a live service, which I'm sure no one wants to hear, but guess what? That's what needs to happen. A Destiny 3 will not save them. It's I think that's also from Jason Schreier, who basically went, yeah, they're requiring a whole bunch of crunch time to meet some internal deadline for a demo for Intergalactic, which, like, oh god, I don't have the quote on me, but I wish I could find it. No, I'm not. I'm just I was focusing. I didn't have anything to say after that. Yeah. Uh I was about to say, why would they remove it anyway? That sounds weird and dumb. Oh, the teasers we're not supposed to talk about because they were basically only internal, and then whoever leaked them is probably a known person within Disney and is probably turbo fired. It would be watermarks. Like it's technically, how do I describe this? It's basically a certain set of like visual code. Basically, it's how the content ID systems work for the YouTube and the like. It's that stuff basically that they're using that they would have to identify the trailer. Hmm. Slayer gives me that. Oh dear. Okay. Kind of doing too much at once, so we have to back it down a little. I need to get the general shape first, and then we can go in and start filling it. I'll delete the picture. I need the picture. There we go. Make it 14. 14. I honestly don't know what my distance is. Oh, okay. So 14's not a bad idea. Okay. The antennas are going to be, like, last. We'll put them in there last. We kind of have to, like, slowly chip away at this now. As an example, we're going to kind of come in here. Actually, give me my mirror line real quick. We're going to kind of work from the bottom up now. I think so too. I think I saw a picture of it and I was like, I guess that's an indie game. Oh, that's not gonna work. Probably, but since they're at an angle, they'll be angled themselves, but doing many things at once. Again, this should come in here. This. Extrude this a certain amount out. And come in here on this. Sure. This. Is it 3? was about to say, yeah, that's going to take off that end. Bit more gap between. That'll do. Okay. Slight problem. Those aren't closed. So it's very confused. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, that and the RAM, the folks doing RAM are like, we're dedicating all our stuff to AI. I'm like, y'all basically working yourself into a chute to appease your AI overlords because you think it will solve all the problems, even when there's not the problem to solve. Granted, I don't think the phrase "work yourself into a chute" it applies in this scenario, but it feels like what they all are all doing. Of like, yeah, I think I don't know who it was, but someone interviewed some concept artists. And I saw the article, and they were like, "Yeah, no, using AI makes our job harder because we have to like do this prompt and stuff with all this bullshit, and then like we have to fix it instead of just doing the thing we were wanting to do to start with. Stupid." I'm like, yeah, that sounds incredibly stupid. Well, yeah, with that there, yeah, it kind of does. I have not. Oh, that one. Yeah, nope. What V? Oh, that, probably. Yeah, it's just a weird little overhang. It's fine. Um... I haven't the faintest idea. That is a Tommy question. Really gonna make me do it this way there? That's important. Nope. I could have just... Stupid. I didn't need to go through all that work. I could have just... That would have been so much easier. I know I broke all the mates. Fix it. The other way? Okay. You know, I haven't seen him either. It's been a long time. Oh, the... Okay, how do I describe this? I think the first thing of G2 was, like, fine, but it was also, like, a bunch of shorts. It's the 3D animated part 2 that where the show falls apart. It's not the Concord of games. I would not say that. It is an outlier in terms of Lego because it did get canceled before it got to do its third year, which is highly irregular for Lego. But also, I put all of the blame for why G2 Bionicle didn't succeed squarely on Lego because they decided to market it basically only to people who knew what the fuck Bionicle was to start with and nobody else. And then no one else cared. This one go. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, what do I do? Um, the wrong thing. Yeah, I didn't think so. That should lock it down. Probably easier to do. Oh, whoops. Got the decimal point. Okay. It's very much just a flat thing on those things. I need to... Should have curved this all first and then came in. Also, why is that like that? I got deleted at some point. Well, it's all there. It's just not the best way. I basically would have had to come back to there. I know I could have done that much, so I'd have done all my shaping. Then extrude everything on. Shoot. All right, we're gonna take a break. Look at the Blockies vlog real quick. Hey, look, it's Taika and Dragier for Galaxy version S. Things that were missing from from Galaxy, and I'm like, oh no, we are basically gonna start over, aren't we? Darn, that sucks. Oh well, I haven't bought into anything yet. I guess that's 2 of our chases. I guess that's 2 fancier painted zeros and Belials, and then a red Gomera, and then dark Tiga, I guess, technically. It's like we get a Rising Mighty plus the Beat Chaser for Starlight. That's it at the moment. What's bad is it's just like, hey, that front is exactly how I want it. Problem, it lacks all depth, basically. It's basically that on like a cylinder. It's like, okay, I like the back, I like the front, but I just need stuff to like... Eh. I'm trying to think of how best to do that. It isn't just start over. Because, like, it looks fine this way. Because I'll make some antenna to plug into these slots. Because it'd be better just to have those be separate prints and just plug them in. And it would look fine from back here. But it's this side. I'm not happy with it. This is like the crux of it. And there's no easy way for me to modify this outside of just doing 1,001 modifications, which... Because honestly, the face is very flat. It's not too many details, it's just it lacks depth. Is the problem. There's no depth on this. Whereas... I don't know. Where's the Gotcha helmet? There we go. Perfect. To give a quick comparison. Not that one. There's a Gotcha helmet from the side. There's none of this curvature. There's like none of this extends out to there. I have ways. I don't know if it'd be easier to just start over and then work from there, or try to work this into that. Could roll this back to like... do that and then just kind of roll in forward, and as things air out on me, I fix them. Work. Yeah, we'll do that, but we'll probably do that next week because that's going to be a stream and a half. Okay. I have an idea. But it'll take basically a stream or so to do it. So yeah. But we're getting there. Show the full model basically. I'm gonna make a little separate model for the antenna so they plug in right there. It'd be easier to print if they're just right there. You don't have to worry about them breaking while you're trying to print it. Plus you can get them to like articulate a little bit to give expression. Same with the wings, because the wings are going to go, like, back here. Then you can kind of, like, tilt them up and down. I'm probably going to dupe this part down here. Slightly modify it for the bottom legs, because I'm just not happy with this design at all. So we're going to replace that with basically a dupe of this. Because the feet I'm happy with. I might bring these down a little bit. But we're gonna dupe this part kind of design-wise down here, because like I said, I'm not happy with this. We'll probably work in that little cut detail that's there on there, but dupe this down here for that. And then the arms will come back around too, because we have an arm design, but I'm not happy with it. I have a better idea. But yeah, we're going to stop there for tonight. I guess I have to worry about this about not having enough streams. It's turning into a process, which is fine. It's always a process. There we go. But yeah, we're gonna call it there for tonight. Schedule tomorrow. It is Slay the Spire. I'll be doing the Star Rail event stuff that dropped this week for the update. Before that, Saturday is us de-rusting on Ratchet and Clank. We're just gonna. I know I'm hopping in blind, so obviously do some practice, which means he'll probably be better off than me. But we're just gonna see how far we can get Ratchet and Clank off after not running it for months. But before that will be Retro Achievos. I don't know what I'll do for Retro Achievements, but I'll figure it out. And then Sunday is TGSR. We're wrapping up our run-through of Gaim with the 2 Gaim Gaiden V cinemas. I know the schedule said Fortnite, but it's not going to be Fortnite. I didn't think about it when I was doing up the schedule until after I did it up and posted it. I was like, well, we'll just not do Fortnite. We'll do, I think I'm doing this fall. We're going to do Fall Guys Sunday for pre-show before we do TGSR. We might do that for a bit. Because I think I need a break from Fortnite, and they've given me the best excuse to have a break from Fortnite. Yeah, next week we'll pick this up. We'll get the helmet cooperating. It'll just take a bit. Yeah, folks. So if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube chat because you can advertise for this and all our other streams. Exclamation point social in chat because the social medias for all our handles for our social medias. So you know when we go live. Exclamation point Discord chat this way. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.